Hey there, food lovers! Today we're diving into a dish that's bursting with flavor and creativity. We're talking about a recipe that's not only delicious but also surprisingly easy to make. Spaghetti squash and chicken with avocado pesto. Imagine a symphony of textures and tastes that'll have your taste buds doing a happy dance. The spaghetti squash provides a delightful crunch, while the chicken adds a savory depth. The best part? You can whip this up any night of the week, making it perfect for those busy evenings when you want something quick yet satisfying. So, grab your aprons, and let's get cooking. This dish is not just about the end result, but also about enjoying the process of creating something wonderful. This recipe is perfect for those busy weeknights when you crave a home-cooked meal without spending hours in the kitchen. It's designed to be quick, easy, and incredibly tasty. We're talking minimal ingredients, simple steps, and maximum flavor. You don't need a ton of fancy ingredients or complicated techniques to make this dish shine. Get ready to impress yourself and your family with this culinary masterpiece. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a kitchen newbie, this recipe is sure to become a favorite in your household. So let's get started and create something delicious together. First things first, let's preheat that oven to a toasty 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. This step is crucial because a well-preheated oven ensures that our squash cooks evenly and develops that perfect tender texture we're aiming for. So, go ahead and set that dial and let the oven work its magic while we get everything else ready. While it heats up, grab your trusty baking sheet and give it a quick line with parchment paper. This simple step not only prevents the squash from sticking but also makes cleanup a breeze later. Trust me, you'll thank yourself when you're not scrubbing away at stubborn bits of squash. Plus, parchment paper helps in even cooking, ensuring that our squash roasts to perfection. A neat and organized kitchen setup can make the cooking process so much more enjoyable. Having everything in its place means you can focus on the fun part, cooking. So take a moment to arrange your essentials and get ready to create something delicious. Now let's turn our attention to the star of the show, the spaghetti squash. This versatile vegetable is not only nutritious but also incredibly delicious. It's a fantastic low-carb alternative to pasta and can be used in a variety of dishes. Carefully slice the squash in half lengthwise. This can be a bit tricky because the squash is quite tough, so take your time and use a sharp knife. If you find it difficult, you can microwave the squash for a few minutes to soften it slightly before cutting. Don't worry, it's tougher than it looks. With a bit of patience and the right technique, you'll get through it. Remember, safety first, always cut away from yourself and keep your fingers clear of the blade. Scoop out the seeds and discard them. You can use a spoon to make this easier. The seeds and stringy bits can be a bit messy, but once they're out, you're left with the perfect canvas for roasting. Drizzle a little olive oil over the cut sides of the squash and season generously with salt and pepper. The olive oil helps to caramelize the edges, adding a wonderful depth of flavor, while the salt and pepper enhance the natural sweetness of the squash. Place the squash halves cut side down on your prepared baking sheet. This position allows the squash to steam in its own moisture, making it tender and easy to shred into those beautiful spaghetti-like strands once it's cooked. Now we're ready to pop it into the oven and let it roast to perfection. While our squash gets cozy in the oven, let's take a moment to appreciate the magic that's about to happen in our kitchen. We're about to whip up the most delicious avocado pesto you've ever tasted. This isn't just any pesto, it's a creamy, dreamy, and vibrant green sauce that will elevate any dish. This vibrant sauce is what takes this dish to the next level. Imagine the rich, buttery texture of avocado combined with the fresh, aromatic notes of basil and garlic. To start, in your food processor, combine a ripe avocado. Make sure it's perfectly ripe for that creamy texture. Next, add a generous handful of fresh basil leaves. The basil adds a wonderful fragrance and a burst of flavor. Don't forget a clove of garlic for that extra kick. Now, add a squeeze of lemon juice. This not only adds a zesty brightness, but also helps to keep the avocado from browning. Drizzle in some high-quality olive oil. This will help to blend everything together smoothly and add a rich, fruity note. Season with a pinch of salt and pepper. This will enhance all the flavors and bring everything together. Pulse everything together in the food processor. Watch as the ingredients transform into a smooth and creamy pesto. The aroma will be irresistible. If the pesto is too thick, you can adjust the consistency by adding a bit more olive oil. Just a little at a time until you reach the perfect texture. Give it a taste. This is your chance to adjust the seasoning. Maybe a bit more salt or a touch more lemon juice. Make it perfect for your palate. This pesto is so good, you might want to make extra. It's perfect for pasta, as a spread on sandwiches, or even as a dip for veggies. Enjoy the magic of avocado pesto. Let's move on to our protein powerhouse chicken. You can use boneless, skinless chicken breasts or thighs for this recipe. Cut the chicken into bite-sized pieces and season them generously with salt, pepper, and any other spices you love. Heat a drizzle of olive oil in a large skillet over medium heat. Add your seasoned chicken pieces to the hot skillet and cook them until they're golden brown and cooked. This should take about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the size of your chicken pieces. Once the chicken is cooked, remove it from the skillet and set it aside. Alright, by now, our squash should be nice and tender. Carefully remove the baking sheet from the oven and let the squash cool slightly. Once it's cool enough to handle, use a fork to scrape the inside of the squash, creating those fun spaghetti-like strands. Transfer the cooked squash strands to a large bowl, add your cooked chicken and the creamy avocado pesto. Gently toss everything together until the squash and chicken are evenly coated in that delicious pesto goodness. Now comes the best part. Digging in. Divide your spaghetti squash and chicken with avocado pesto among your plates. Feel free to get creative with your toppings. Some cherry tomatoes, a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, or a dollop of Greek yogurt would be delicious additions. And of course, a final grind of black pepper is always a good idea. There you have it. A healthy, flavorful, and incredibly easy meal that will have you feeling like a culinary rock star. This spaghetti squash and chicken with avocado pesto recipe is proof that delicious food doesn't have to be complicated. So, gather your ingredients, put on your chef's hat, and embark on this flavor-packed adventure. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you.